CNBC TV18 Weekender.
Hi there, this is a very special episode of The Weekender on CNBC TV18. I'm Mangalam Maloo and with me is Shruti Mishra.
Hi Mangalam. Hi.
As we wind the clock down towards 2017, turning the clock into 2018, a good time to actually look back and see an array of the guests that we had on The Weekender, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. You know, from business tycoons to serial entrepreneurs to celebrities turning entrepreneurs, we gave you a glimpse into their lives outside the realm of their businesses. In fact, Mangalam, I caught up with actor turned producer turned entrepreneur Anushka Sharma, who launched her label Noosh in October this year. Yeah.
So you spoke to her in October and she didn't invite you to her wedding in
She did
December.
not mention about her wedding, she did not invite me, and none to her many parties and receptions. But hold on, I also caught up with the gorgeous Malaika Arora, co-founder of the label Life, and India's top fashion designer Anita Dongre. And you know what? All three women had two things in common. Not only are they tailoring their way to success, but all of them started their careers pretty early. So let's take a look at their interesting journeys.
When I was a kid, I was very into enterprising, so I actually tried to start, and I did start also, a beauty parlour. At the age of 10 or 11, I think I was, and I just got all my friends together and I said we should start our own beauty parlour. So whatever little bit of creating our own products and all of that, and with whatever we found in the house, and making pamphlets and giving it out to people and actually inviting them. And few women actually came also, and I used to live in an army cantonment. I used to organize Christmas parties and Diwali parties, and as a kid, like I'm all like 10 years old, and New Year parties, and tell kids you can bring 5 chairs from your house, you bring this food, you bring that, and we're going to have this, and create sets, like choreograph everything, like putting it all together. And I tried to start a library as a kid on circulation. I said, everyone give me like 10 books of yours. I'm going to properly like tag them and everything and make sure that, we can, it will be returned to you, and started a circulation library also in my friend's garage. I always had that in me. I'm somebody who, I go after things that inspire me. I go after, if I see an idea and if I see value somewhere, then I go after it.
Independent since a very early age. In fact, you took care of your sister Amrita.
I wouldn't say I took care of her, but I guess that came out of a necessity, because my mom was working. So I guess like they call us latchkey kids. That's what it is. So if your parents are working, and you have no choice but to then come home and fend for yourself and all of that. Not that I think that's what probably made me the person that I am today. I feel I can take on any situation. I think I'm very independent, so to speak. I was born and brought up. I schooled in Thane, and I then moved later to Chembur and finished my final schooling over there. But like you said, a typical middle class family with working parents, and as you say, every day is a bit of a struggle, but never did my parents ever make us feel. I would say my mom. I think she's the one who's been the driving force behind us.
I decided to do fashion when I was 15, but I started with 2 sewing machines in my balcony when I graduated, so I must have been about 19. In fact, there were no fashion schools. I went looking, and after the 10th, I couldn't find a fashion school. Finally found one after the 12th. So I joined SNDT. It was the only school I knew of at that time. I'm hugely inspired by my summer vacations in Jaipur. My grandparents are from there. My mum and dad both are from there. I was born and brought up in Bandra, Mumbai, but the last day of school, the next day we were bundled up and sat in a train. Those good old days when we traveled by train, and it was beautiful. I think the wonder of that city used to just mesmerize me, and I think by the time I was 9 or 10, it was very difficult for my mum to be even pinning me down in my grandparents' home. I was all over the bazaars. I was all over discovering the colors and just saw what is so special about Jaipur. I used to constantly be in Hawa Mahal. I used to get lakh bangles made for myself by this artisan who used to sit on the road. I used to go to the tie and dye karigar. I used to be sitting there on the road and getting things tie and dyed. So I think that city had a huge influence on me.
that was so beautiful. I kind of envy you for interviewing such amazing and so beautiful
Well,
women.
Mangalam, all I can say is better luck in 2018.
Yes, better luck in 2018. But tell you what, women are better than men in every aspect.
Absolutely
I say that also because my boss is a lady. But no, seriously. Yeah. And men are not too far behind. You know, the big interview that we had this year was Yuvraj Singh. We all know his story about how he battled the dreaded disease, came back into the team, and now is helping other people with his UV Can Foundation.
True.
But watching that in conversation with our Manisha Gupta was a totally different thing. Let's take a look at that too.
What really led to UV Can? Was it your own experience? Was it giving it back to the society?
Definitely giving back to society. I think UV Can is kind of a name that we together can fight cancer. That was the whole point behind it. And as I said, it's hard to generate funds, so now we started a fashion brand as well to help the charity, and hopefully more things to come. And just to create a lot of awareness about, to remove the stigma and tell people, cancer does not spread. There are different repercussions, but you need to go to the right doctor, provide the right information to people.
Well, that was an amazing story. UV, may the force be with you. And you know what? I also caught up with the Iron Man,
Tony Stark?
Well, not our very own Iron Man, Milind Soman. And I must say, it was truly inspiring. We spoke about Pinkathon, we spoke about his inspiration, his mother, and also it's just amazing to see how he's inspired so many women to come out of their homes and run to stay in the pink of health.
And men to stay in their homes because he's so fit.
True. So here's the story of one man, one celebrity who preaches what he practices.
So that feeling of just being amazingly capable of doing anything that you want, I mean, nothing is an obstacle. It comes from there. So of course, after I stopped swimming, which was in 1988, was my last national championships, I didn't do any kind of exercise or sport till I was 38. So that's almost 15 years.
Yeah.
And when I was 38, the Mumbai Marathon was announced, the first one, in 2003. It was announced. In 2004, I participated in the half marathon, in the first Mumbai Marathon, and that got me really hooked to running.
And that's how Milind Soman was hooked to fitness.
Yes.
But last year, I was hooked onto LinkedIn because for the first time I made my profile. Not looking for a job if my boss is watching. But most of the people, they look for jobs on LinkedIn. This year we got someone who actually has a job at LinkedIn.
Yes.
Our colleague Priya Shet also caught up with the India head of LinkedIn, Akshay Kothari, and he has a very inspiring story as well.
Yes, take a look.
The only millennial CEO for a company that's the size of LinkedIn in India. What really, drove them to appoint you to, take on the reins at LinkedIn?
I think it was a bet that the CEO Jeff took on me. I had a short career at LinkedIn in the US after my company was acquired, and it was amazing. And I had been in the US for almost 12, 13 years, so I was looking to move back. And so I went to him and I said, I've done my bit for LinkedIn. I think I'm going to, basically take off, go to India, spend some time there. And he said, if you really want to go to India, why don't you go run LinkedIn in India? And that's how I got here. And it's been about 2 years now. It's been a dream journey for me. It's been almost homecoming in some ways because I grew up in India. So it's great to be back.
On that note, it's time for us to take a short break. But when we return, our next lineup of guests talk about their businesses and what's in store. So stay tuned.
CNBC TV18 Weekender.